to it, man. The NBA draft is officially here this Thursday. So, Nomis, man, let you start it off with this NBA draft, man. Let you go and kick it off.
Hey, listen, y'all already know the Pistons got the fifth pick, obviously, it's self-explanatory. We got quite at least five, almost maybe six, prospects that we can look at that could be helpful to this team. All of them have their talents, all of them have their different skill sets, all of them have their ability. But it's just about with Troy Weaver and head coach Monty Williams, that's what Texas kind of getting used to, about what they feel was best for this team moving forward. Whether that be they trade up or whether it be they just stay where they at and take some talent. If I had to guess, I think they're going to try to move up or even move down depending on what the offers are. But I know Troy Weaver, no matter what, he's got a plan for any situation. If he got to make a sacrifice to move up, he will. If he got to take something that would normally seem bad to get something else, he will do that too. But if he stuck there, Whitmer is your best player or Jerace is the best player available, this ain't NFL. This ain't how you take the best player available. Like you take who gives you the best overall basketball skill. Like even if it's a different position that you would want to draft, because that helps. And Pistons still need help. Obviously in the draft when it comes to small forward, they need somebody. To me, they still need. Some would say they need a power forward. I still think they need help at the 5 position, but that's more veteran. And you can make an argument that we really only need one more pick as far as young acquisitions. I know we got our dreams that maybe Monty Bates could fall to us at 31, but for some reason I doubt that happened. I can easily see him going between 12 and 18. So, somewhere around that neighborhood, depending on who's drafting there. So you don't want to get caught up and make a wish foundation trying to get your favorite player in the draft. But at the end of the day, man, you got Cam Whitmer, Jerace Walker, you got the Thompson brothers, who one of them I can't pronounce his first name to save my life. And then you got a wild card in Hendricks. So you got guys that can definitely kind of help you. All offer some form of defense. They all offer the ability to be able to shoot at some point, ball stretch. It's about who Pistons striker is the best fit, who's the most complete other players, who offers the most dimensional help. You know what I'm saying? Who's more than just shooting and defense, who helps you in zone coverages on defense, who helps you better also in transition. Can he make plays in transition? He as well. Is he good as the sun? So they're going to do their due diligence, man. If I had to guess what Troy Weaver's doing right now, he and Monty are probably already looking at prospects, examining things, because from the sounds of the press conference, which was like the press conference of the year, you can make an argument. Seems like Monty's already aware of what the team's responsibilities are. I think it's about adding now the prospect they want to draft. And this is why I really love the NBA too, because like the NBA is good about one thing. They bring the draft first and then the free agency afterwards. I'm a big fan of that. I don't like going free agency and drafting, because when you have the draft going first, it helps you better understand what veterans you can put in the spot. First, you gotta get veterans and hope that your guy that you're looking for is a fit, and then bring there. I wish other teams, other sports will catch up to that. So this is gonna be a fun one. We gonna be live witnessing all three. Gonna be hopping in and out. It's wherever they go with. At this point, there's no pick. This draft has sort of a 2020. I'm gonna just say COVID year draft, rookie Weaver, his first year as GM, because it's like it's anybody can come out and be kind of good. You got guys who drafted at 18 that can be surprising. So it's like it's one of those types of drafts. I don't think it's like real competitive like it was in the top 12 of this past draft, and you know what I'm saying, or even somewhat the draft. I think it's really spread out. I think everybody has the ability to come on the team and show what he can do. There's going to be a lot of players I think that come out help the team that get drafted on. So I do see it being a depth draft. So this is the perfect draft that you need. If you're looking for a position to fill and get a starter, if you're a young team like this too. That's why I'm big on Cam Whitmer and Hendricks and the guys that everybody been putting their top 5 because they fit exactly what we sort of need. So, gosh,
So before I move on to Breed, so Noman. So if you're a GM, you in Troy Reaver's shoes, would you trade that 5th round pick to get a veteran, or would you go ahead and draft somebody, draft one of the young guys?
See, there's no definitive answer to that, because if you tell me to go get a veteran player, I need to know what position. Because I don't want to bring any old veteran here just because he's a veteran. He has to fit too. I don't want to go out there and just give Chris Task Porzingis because he's a well-known man. Chris Task don't fit probably here naturally, and you probably want somebody who else on defense that ain't got a bad injuries. So it just depends on the position you go in. If you tell me, because nobody's gonna give up a top 5 player unless he on a real bad contract, he ain't working out, and he don't offer no defense, and it's the same old thing, and you got to change the way things play to accommodate him, you know what I'm saying, just for him to go missing in the playoffs. And no, I'm not talking about you, James Harden. But I'm just saying that you want to make sure the player is right that you're bringing in. So if I'm the Pistons, you did all this bad stuff to tank the pick, because I was on that team, but maybe trade for veteran. But who are you expecting to get with that pick? Because you ain't about to get Kawhi Leonard, and you don't probably want him. You ain't going to get, one of these guys like Westbrook. Like, you better off just drafting that pick and doing this roster young. When you look at that Phoenix Suns, I know I hate to jump on this side of the brick, because this one thing I hate about hiring coaches that was like successful elsewhere. We always have to do the comparison thing. But when you look at the Phoenix Suns situation, they had Brook, they had Ayton, but eventually they kept adding pieces like, as you know, Mikal Bridges, as you know, Cam Johnson was first. He was kind of slept on because he was an older player in the draft. And now look at everybody, we all hunting for him. But I remember everybody criticized him because he was like 24 years old about to get drafted. Now we all want to pay this dude a big paycheck to come play here. So that is how it works sometimes. But they built a lot of guys off the draft. They didn't sell their chips to go get some KD until this past season. But I think they stayed patient and just let this team build. We have our 8. We got Jalen Durant. We have our Devin Booker, which is Cade Cunningham. We have our, I ain't going to say CP3, but, we got Jaden Ivey. We got, a couple other young players that come in role players. So we got a lot of young pieces. So you add to this draft that you get so hard losing games for to get this player. You take that best player and you build with veterans that can fit in, because you never know. You might get away with having one of these guys you draft coming off the bench, despite being a top 5 pick, because of the veteran you bring on here. And you need depth. The Pistons need to make sure they got a bench and a starting unit that's good. So you need talent across the board. You know what I'm saying? You got to get one young and then get some veterans. So I say you just take care of you the pick, because I don't think there's any veterans that Troy Weaver has to give up the 5th pick in the draft for that's worth bringing over.
The key word you said depth. The key word you brought up is said depth. And that's what, if you really, before I'm going to let Bree jump in, I'm going to say this right. When that situation with the Phoenix Suns, when they made that trade for Kevin Durant and all that, they was lacking depth because they had to give up so much to get Kevin Durant. So they lack a depth. I think with this Pistons team, it's not going to give us so much. Oh, we're going to get a huge superstar. We're not trying to get a huge superstar. We get like a veteran, like say Tim Hardaway Jr. There's rumors about Tim Hardaway Jr. Get like a guy like Tim Hardaway Jr. Get somebody like a Cam Johnson, something like that. Like not a big name player, but a veteran that can help help this young roster team. So that's how, like you said, because you got to have the depth, like a mixture of young and veteran players on this team. And I think with Troy Weaver, it's a decision that they're going to make in this draft, where they're going to trade their pick and get the veteran, or they're going to keep going young and get somebody off the draft, like Jarace Walker or somebody that's on the Thompson brothers. So definitely we'll see, to see what it's going to happen draft night Thursday. So
so I'm gonna let Bree go after you, but then when you go, I'm having something that I need to just do with that. Yeah.
I hope you ain't talking. I hope you ain't finna bring this. I hope you don't. Never mind. Go ahead, Bree.
Well, first I want to say, congratulations to the Pistons for hiring Monty Williams for the coaching job for sure, because that's the coach we need for sure. We don't see how this team goes. But as far as the draft, man, it's just, Whitmer and Trace Walker and the Thompson twins and Hendricks, and it might be a dark horse. You never know. The way the draft is, you just never know. I mean, who would have thought that? A lot of people still surprised at how Banchero was number one. I remember the draft. I remember the draft night last year. People were so surprised at that. They was like, "What the? Like, what?" But you never know, and you never know. Scoot Henderson might slide down. So with these kind of things, you just never know, because Scoot is in a tough spot too, because a lot of these teams already got point guard. The Charlottes and the Portland, unless they do a trade, which you never know. It may be some trades in the draft, but I think it's pretty much the same. Just Whitmer, and either one of those players, I would be cool with. Cam Whitmer, who to me, a lot of people say he kind of reminds you a little bit of Sadiq Bey, just more athletic. A more athletic Sadiq Bey. Maybe he doesn't shoot the ball like Sadiq, but he's a better athletic player than Sadiq. And I've seen one of the Thompson twins is a beast defensive. So, and then with Trace Walker, he got that experience down there in Houston and everything. So, and there's a lot of hype with Hendricks, but either one of those players I would not mind, as long as this, like Noam said, as long as you draft the right position, because it has to be the right position to draft. Because you don't want to draft somebody and then he's nowhere in the rotation, a la Darko Milicic, but that's a different story.
Right.
But
like the right player for the right position, yeah.
Exactly. Mm-hmm. You don't want to, and then if you do a trade, it has to be the right trade. It has to be the right veteran. I know some people talking about they want, Jeremy Grant back, and some people was even talking about doing a trade to try to get Lauri Markkanen for Utah. Now, I wouldn't mind Markkanen coming in. You know what I'm saying? That's just me. But some people wouldn't, don't want that.
Utah's not going to let him go.
Oh no, I don't see that. I don't see that at all. Plus, he just won most improved player, so they definitely not going to part
He was
ways.
all-star, so they not letting him.
Yeah. So, but yeah, either one of those guys, I wouldn't mind drafting, as long as it's the right position and the right player, and long as you got trust in what this player can do. But with Troy Weaver, I got a lot of trust in Troy Weaver. So whoever he drafts, I'm gonna trust in him anyway, because he makes a lot of right decisions. I mean, for what he did last year, getting Duran, the way he got Duran was amazing. Thank you, New York Knicks, for being stupid.
Like always.
Yeah, exactly. Thank you for that, and giving us Alec Burks. So thank you.
Thank you for being stupid.
Even though they gave us Nerlens Noel, which that was useless, but it is what it is.
Man, very rude. That's another one of those top picks that just didn't work out. But you draft them high and it just don't work out. So just gotta watch out. But I'm cool with Troy Weaver, whoever he drafts, man. I know with this young team, me personally, I wouldn't trade the pick. I wouldn't give it up. I wouldn't even try to get a veteran. I would just build around this young team and just see where it goes. And the big thing with this team is just staying healthy. That's the big thing. If they're healthy, they could be a beast. They could be one of the best teams in the league if they're healthy. And they got this, with Monty Williams as coach, who knows? So that's how I look at it.
All right. So I look at it like I look at it like this. Um, mm, I wouldn't have a problem, like I said, with the Pistons drafting a guy the right fit with the right in the right position. I don't have a problem with it, but I will say this: if I'm in Troy Weaver's shoes, I think we got a little bit enough young talent that we could go ahead and get a couple of veterans. Because at this point, we need a couple of veterans. You know, we need a shooter. We need a consistent knockdown shooter. We need somebody that's going to play some defense, and that's can bring. We need that energizer. You know, that veteran energizer. And me personally, if I'm Troy Weaver, I'm like, you know what? If I get a good veteran that can fit this Pistons coach in that right position, I'm gonna trade that pick. Because you know what? I believe that K's gonna be healthy. He's gonna get healthy. He's gonna be better. Ivy, I got Dern, I got Stewart. You know, I got, Wiseman. I can get a couple of veterans on this team that can help this young Pistons team. You know, and like you said, you get guys that's out there, you hear the names of Cam Johnson, you hear Tim Hardaway Jr., you hear guys, all these other veterans out there, you know what I'm saying, that's out there looking to probably go into new teams that can be, that I believe that can fit in what Monty Williams, style that, his style of, the team with the culture. So that's if I was in his shoes. But to me, if Troy Weaver and Monty Williams decide, hey, we want to go one of these draft prospects, we want to go with Jarace Walker, we'll go with Hendricks or somebody, I'm fine with it. I have no problem with it, because it shows that, like I brought up again, what he done with the Phoenix Suns with the young talent, what I'm saying, and they end up starting getting veterans, when they would start winning. That's the same thing that's going to happen to the Pistons. If they go younger and they start, okay, the next season, we get a couple of free agents, veterans coming to our team. So, it's like what he did, everybody keep forgetting what he did with New Orleans Hornets with the young Chris Paul, David West, and, Jamal McGlure, those Tyson Chandlers and those guys, how, his coaching style, how players buy in, to Monty Williams. We just talked about last week, saying that how all those Pistons players showed up except for Bojan, showed up at that press conference, and them to show up to be at that press conference to show the love for Monty Williams was huge. All those players had so much to have all respect for Monty Williams, not as a coach, as a man. That's the father figures to these young players, so they the respect they have for him. So